with you.
Yeah, interesting little things. I mean, what we're really looking forward to, DSLR users, is the electronic viewfinder. Now, there's already one out by a company called Cineroid, which is a slightly strange name because it just reminds me of... but Zacuto are going to have one out by NAB. Red Rock Micro are going to have one out soon as well. And these are going to give you proper viewfinders. I mean, essentially going to be a small panel LCD screen with it's like a Z finder type on it, but it's going to give you proper peaking, exposure assist, and zoom in, and HDMI pass-through, those sort of things which are going to make our life a lot easier with DSLR. It's going to give us a proper viewfinder. So those things are coming up. Other interesting things is I came across this the other day. I haven't even turned it on yet. So this is my old iPod plugged into this. It's called an Alesis adapter, and it turns it into an XLR recorder for dual system sound. It will record WAV files in 44.1 kilohertz.
Right.
And it's €59.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you buy an iPod, then it becomes expensive. But everybody's got an old iPod sitting around. It takes all the iPods with the dock connector, and away you go. And it seems to work pretty well from what people have told me. I can't say for certain because I haven't turned it on yet because I haven't got any AAA batteries for it. But that's a really cool device. This thing was given to me when I met up with Stuart from Camberlock the other day. It was a friend of his makes this in America. And you know when you're doing those interviews which are straight to camera, you know how difficult it is to make a connection with that person who's talking to you. They're trying to look at you, who's asked the question, to get reassurance that they're answering the right way. They're getting very disturbed by looking at the lens. It's a very unnatural way of doing it, but it's also, when it works, it's the most immediate and best way of connecting with the audience because they're addressing you. You're looking at them, they're looking at you, it feels like. But it's very difficult for them not to look shifty with their eyes. This is a very cool device. It's almost, sort of based around the whole sort of auto cue thing. But it's very simple, just mirrors. You just put this in front of the camera and you angle it, and so until I can see you, and then you can see me.
There you go. In fact, you could probably angle it at the camera.
Yeah, if I shadow that...
There you go, you can see it.
There we go. And so I'm looking at the camera, and you're looking at me, and we can make eye contact. As long as you put a little light... If it's a dark room, you put a little, little micro light on there, then you'll see me, and we can make eye contact and have an actual conversation. And I tell you, I've done so many documentaries and interviews like that, and it's been such a trauma trying to get them relaxed enough to look at the camera. It takes a good 20-30 minutes before they really get into it and relax enough. With something like this, it's called the McWilliams iDirect. So I'm going to do a blog on it as soon as I get a chance to.
Right. Okay. And there's a new Rode mic out.
There's a new Rode mic. Yeah. This is the old Rode video mic. It's still for sale. It's called the video mic, and this is the new video mic Pro. As you can see, it's a lot little, much smaller, and in this case, size isn't everything. It's half the size and does the job better. It sounds better. It's got better gain on it. It's a much better form factor. It doesn't get in the way of the viewfinder when you stick it on there. So this is the Rode Video Mic Pro. And I gave away 10 of these earlier in the week. Right. Okay. So they're really good.
So any other cool kits? We got your dolly as well, haven't we? Which is just over there.
This is very cool. I think I've got a tripod in here. This is the Kessler Crane Philip Bloom Signature Series dolly, pocket dolly, and this is simply a slider you put on a tripod, and you can do some dolly style moves by simply moving along, and you can put a motor on there and do motorized motion control stuff. It's very, very good. It's only available direct from Kessler Crane in the States.
But how much is that going for?
This is going for $1,100, and it comes with the bag, some feet, and this flat head mount. So this is a really great way of adding some cinematic movement to your quite static shots.
Do you think it's fair to say that filmmakers today, filmmaking is going through such a big revolution that kind of nobody quite knows what to make of what we're doing right now? Because the old model of, write a script, make a feature film, take it to Hollywood, and that still kind of works, but it's quite inaccessible, requires a massive amount of energy, whereas with something like this, you can make a small investment and you can make extraordinary stuff and put it on Vimeo. Just like Mark, the guy who was on from Australia, has done, put his feature film up. He made it for so little money, he can share it with the world for free. I know that's not a business, but that is that a bit of an insight into the new model that, people are more enthusiasts than business people?
To a degree, but you still need to have the skill behind the camera to get the work and to make it all happen.
Yeah.
You know, just because you have an idea and the gear is affordable doesn't mean you get better to pull it off. You're still going to need the talent, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, to make it work. Very interesting in that when I was doing this music video with Trim Breaks on Sunday, we were having a long chat about stuff, and they were saying, like, their first music video, they had a crew of 250 people. 250 people.
That's crackers.
And their budgets were like £100,000. And you know, it was great to hear Ollie, the lead singer, say today that the video that we made on Sunday looks as good, if not better, than pretty much all the £100,000 videos.
Right.
And done on an absolute shoestring of a budget with a tiny crew of about 4 people. And it shows you the way things are going. It doesn't mean you're actually dropping the quality. Far from it. The fact that we were a very small crew and we're operating with small kit, we were able to get so many setups done in such a short time. We had 5.5 hour shooting time. And we got so much done. Whereas I know that if we had a large crew, we would have done a fraction of that. And I think that's a big thing. I
think that's actually nailed it, actually. The DSLR revolution is really the rise of the micro crew, isn't it? It's you don't need that big infrastructure anymore. It can be done with a very, very small, dedicated band of people who can create something extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We're able to light. This is a very sensitive camera, light sensitive, and not quite as much as the 5D, but pretty damn good. We're able to light in a very simple way. My light kit consisted, we did have quite a few lights, but we didn't use most of them. I used 2 Kino Flow Divas and 2 Dados, and that's it.
Right.
And that's tiny for a light kit. So, I mean, we had some 1Ks and some 2Ks. We didn't use them, didn't need them.
Right.
And that in itself saves a huge amount of time, having small lighting rigs. You don't have to spend hours setting everything up and having lots of people lug big C-stands around and run cables and everything like that. You can just move the light, got it there, perfect, wonderful.